The rise of OnlyFans in the last 5 years has been crazy. Despite the platform being released almost 10 years ago in 2016, there is more creators, more subscribers, and the platform is thriving in the last 5 years. And what this means is OnlyFans as a career is becoming more normalized. There are creators that are just run-of-the-mill, everyday people becoming millionaires, social media influencers, famous creators out of nowhere. And there isn't really any other vehicle or platform that is allowing everyday run-of-the-mill people to become millionaires and famous like OnlyFans is, which means it's becoming more and more valid for everyday people. But of course, there is still stigma around OnlyFans. Now, the stigma usually stems from a few places, which is totally fine. Everyone has their own views, but what I don't like is when it stems from ignorance or misinformation. Because everyone's under the impression that OnlyFans is super easy and all these creators make millions of dollars and never worked a day in their life, which is just wrong. And it's tricky because I get it. From an outside perspective, it looks like these creators are doing no work and making millions of dollars. But that's the thing with every industry. With crypto, with all these new flashy industries, you see all of the good sides and all the exciting stuff that everyone does, but you don't see what goes on behind the scenes. You don't know what work goes into it, which is where the issue with misinformation comes in for me, is that no one knows the reality of these successful creators. They don't know the time and effort they put in. I've worked in this industry for years now, and over that time I've had the privilege of partnering with 60 plus creators, all from different parts of the world, all with different lifestyles, all earning different amounts of money. And I've seen firsthand what it takes to get a creator from working multiple full-time jobs to earning 6 figures a month, never having to work another day in their life. So as someone that's seen behind the curtains, that knows what goes on behind the scenes, I know the truth about OnlyFans creators. So what is the truth? So let's talk numbers for a second. We know there are 6 million creators on the platform, and out of those 6 million creators, the average earnings is $200 a month. And out of all of the money generated on OnlyFans, the top 1% of creators make up 33% of the money earned. The top 10% of creators make up 73%, which means unless you're in the top 10%, unless you're a top tier creator, you're not really making any money. And even if you're in the top 10%, unless you're in the top 4 or even the top 3%, you're not even making a few $1,000s a month. And this means that the majority of OnlyFans creators are broke. And that means that 95% of OnlyFans creators can't afford groceries, or they can't afford to fill up their car. But everyone wants you to believe that they're all raking it in. And I'll get to why I think this is in a second. But yeah, the truth is most OnlyFans creators are broke. And yes, this includes a lot of well-known influencers and social media content creators you know online. Trust me, I've seen inside a lot of very well-known creators' accounts, creators with millions and millions of followers, and they're not making much money. But there's a reason for this, and it's a reason that everyone seems to neglect. Honestly, I think some people just refuse to believe it and others just can't comprehend how. And that's that OnlyFans is actually hard. The amount of work that it takes to actually be successful on social media is crazy, and no one, including the creators, realize this. And look, don't get me wrong, it'd be stupid to say that OnlyFans is harder than most jobs. It's not. It's genuinely a privilege to be able to make a career out of something this fun and this stress-free. But that's the key, a career. It's a job. You need to be treating OnlyFans like a job. The way I like to teach our creators to look at it is like running a business. Businesses don't grow if you don't put in the work. You need to be spending hours learning, studying, scripting, recording, editing, posting, selling, chatting, and if you take a break and stop being consistent, your earnings will plummet. This is why most creators, especially the successful ones, end up working with a team, because it's literally too much to handle on your own. And even then, if you work with a good team, your chance of success could still be low. Like I said, 95% of creators don't make enough money to survive. But of course, no one's going to share that with social media. And I've seen a lot of speculation about this online, about people saying the reason creators fake their earnings is because they want people to use their referral code, because OnlyFans offers a 5% referral fee. If you can get someone to the platform, they'll pay you 5% of their earnings. But that's just not the case. I don't know anyone that actually uses that referral program. Maybe a small group of friends, but it's very, very rare. I think the real reason behind people pretending they're earning more money is way more simple than that. It's the exact same reason that broke guy you know who rented a sports car one time is still posting about it months later. Or the exact same reason why that girl you know who eats at Nobu every weekend doesn't have a bed frame. It's social media. Of course it's fake. Everything's ego driven. Everyone wants to post about how well they're doing and how cool they are and how much stuff they have. It's social media. Which adds to the point I mentioned earlier. It might look like these massive creators are traveling the world, living the time of their lives 24/7, but it's social media. Of course they want it to look like that. I mean, literally go look at my Instagram. I do the same thing. And behind the scenes, these creators are working their ass off. And keep in mind, posting their amazing life is literally their job. So I want to wrap this up with a video from Ari. It'll really help drive home some of the points I've made today, but it'll also give you really great insight inside the life of one of the most successful influencers on OnlyFans today.
So I think by now we all know that I don't have a normal job. In case you didn't know, I do things that most people would be embarrassed getting walked in on doing for work. What a thing to be proud of. Anyways, I get asked a lot of questions every day about my job, so let's answer them. People always ask how many hours a day, how many hours a week do I put into making videos and content and stuff like that for it. I usually put in about 35 to 45 hours a week. That's including the videos for that and TikTok, Reels, YouTube, all of the content.